Anyway, Alexis, what have you been listening to this week?
What have I been listening to? I guess
Yeah.
we're going straight into that. So
Yeah.
what I've been listening to actually is a recent album that just came out from Silver Sun Pickups, a band that I've been keeping up with for a really long time. They released a new album, and they seem to be kind of prolific. Recently they had like a bit of a drought, I would say, in like their middle part of their career, where it took them a long time to release something. But now they released an album, I think, last year, and now a new one this year. So I'm not used to them,
Hey, I fixed
being
it.
this prolific. Hey, cool, awesome. But yeah, Silver Sun Pickups released a new album called Physical Thrills, and they've been going out for a while now. And I would say for anyone that is like already initiated with Silver Sun Pickups, I would say this is more or less what you would expect from them. But some really nice moments on the album. I think if I was to call out two songs, hello, yes.
What if we are not familiar with Silver Sun Pickups? Because I am not, although I love
Okay.
their name. Like, what's
Okay.
the sound? What's the vibe?
Silver Sun Pickups, they have a very like fuzzy sort of indie rock sound with a bit of like a dream pop sort of aesthetic at the same time. And they're dual vocalists. It's a male and female combo here, and the male singer has a very distinct voice, kind of Billy Corgan-esque from Smashing Pumpkins. So it's like high pitched, almost baby-like in a way. Some people might describe it that way. But like he can also have like these really distorted growls, which are really cool. But he doesn't do like any like metal stuff, but he does get like distortion in there every now and then, which is really nice. But yeah, indie pop. Indie with a bit of a dream pop sort of sound, really nice. But yeah, this album, two standout songs for me would be what are they called? Hold on, I had it. I had it.
I distracted you. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
It's okay. It's okay. I have it right here. Yes. Scared Together is a song that I'm really liking on the album. It's doing a lot of really cool rhythmic things. There's like this really dominant, like funky sort of rhythm that's going on throughout the song. And then it gets into like this mathy sort of stop and start sort of thing midway. And then near the end, there's like this weird switch into like kind of like an Afro-Cuban sort of rhythm, which is very unexpected. And hey, I'm disappearing. There's like this Afro-Cuban sort of thing going on, which was like very like left, field for them. I thought that was really cool. So Scared Together, I would say check that out if you want like some spicy surprises. But my favorite song is a song called Empty Nest, which has like this really cool sort of 80s pop sort of sound, almost Kate Bush, I would say, which is also very interesting for them to do. So yeah, wow. Check out those two songs.
Also very now and popular.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Cool.
That's
Jesse,
me.
Are you with us now?
Yes, I'm with you.
Oh, that's good, because it was like a 10-second delay.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
We were talking to you and you were just sitting there blank faced.
Yeah.
I did it not the way it should be. And I'm hearing myself.
But you fixed it.
Ish. It's as good as it's gonna get today.
All right, well.
Also, I'm too loud. Turning myself down. I have been listening to my mom talking to me about things that we said on the podcast. Yeah. She recently started listening, and she is also a musician. She plays fiddle in all sorts of bands. Recently, she's been doing blues and Irish punk, Irish rock. And do you remember our episode with Lucy? So I said something to the effect of, I don't expect violins with those sorts of instruments, with like bass and drum. And she's like, wait a sec. That's my band. That's what we do. And I had to qualify my words and say that it was a context thing. It's like, that's a classical style violin. That's not the same as like genre specific, traditionally together. Like Celtic music has violin, blues has violin. It's not a stretch to do that. But Lucy was a very different feel to me. And I should have remembered that, but I didn't. Sorry,
So
Mom.
you got scolded.
Yeah, I got scolded.
Oh no. And therefore, and like, meanwhile, my mom listens to the podcast and buys my brother an oud. So
Delightful.
very different parents there. I haven't been listening to anything in particular, so Alexis is the only one with like a real answer to this today. I've been all over, feeling kind of like I want to go back and listen to things I already know and revisit them that I haven't heard in a long time, and also just kind of digging into new music. But I haven't grabbed onto one thing and wanted it on repeat for the last couple of weeks. So just jamming around, a lot of EDM the last couple of days while I like clean the entire house. EDM's great for cleaning the whole house. Keep you moving. I think we're good to get started if you're all set up, Jesse, right?
Pretty much.
All right. Official intro at this point.
All right. So do I go?
Yeah.
You go.
Okay, awesome. All right. Well, let's do this. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Listen In Popcast, the first ever podcast to be invented and our first ever live stream. As you may or may not already know, I'm
Please
Alexis.
Don't sue us. I'm Kay.
I'm Jesse.
And we are the hosts here on this first ever podcast, where we come together each stream to share lesser known songs by underappreciated artists and get to chat with you in the process. So it's pretty much the same show you know and love with the Listen In gang here, but now with 25% more mistakes. Isn't that in the same value? Because that's the value you get for seeing us live. We get to experience all the mistakes as they happen that usually never make it onto the podcast.
That is unfortunately so true.
All right. Well, so, we all know the routine. And if you don't, we listen to 3 songs each show. Today we have a master of fun pop bops with personality, a Hawaiian music collab that will make you shake your okole, and a mesmerizing singer-songwriter that finds the circumstellar habitable zone between indie, pop, and soul. All right. Yeah. Usually this is where we would talk about the things that we're listening to during the week, but we kind of already did that.
Can you define for me circumstellar habit? What did you even say?
The circumstellar habitable zone. That is the how would I say this? It's like the sweet spot that astronomers look for when trying to find the a planet that would be a suitable place for us to live as humans.
Yeah, it's also been called the Goldilocks zone.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was still stuck on hippos.
Yeah. Maybe the hippos could be there as well at the next CHZ.
That's fair. We probably should make sure we include hippos.
Yeah, we can bring them along.
Well, my song is first.
Yeah.
Are we good? Are we ready? We
yes.
going? These are the back things that we normally cut out. Is us like, are we ready? Are we going now? Let's move on. We'll get used to it. So today the theme, this is a theme week, no pressure, is hometown heroes. And so it's songs from our hometown, where we grew up or where we currently live, or songs from artists from our hometown. Sorry about that. Complicated distinction. And as you may know, I live in Nashville, which feels like I'm cheating for this episode. Like, that's too easy. So to be fair, I've chosen an artist that I only know about because I live in Nashville. Her name is Josie Dunne. I first saw Josie play a set at a free outdoor concert series around 2017. For Nashville folks, I can't remember if it was Tomato Fest or if it was, shoot, what do they call it? It has just gone straight out of my mind. The one at Centennial Park, Musician's Corner. But it was one of those two. And her super interesting voice grabbed me first. And then her endlessly entertaining and authentic stage presence completely won me over. I've never met her, but she has this vibe that feels like we could just go talk about things and laugh over coffee right after her set. And it would be like super normal and chill and fun. Wow, this is nerve-wracking when it's live. This is hard, guys. Wow, why are we doing this? Anyway, I saw her again as the opener for that John Splitoff show that I talked about in episode 3, where we were looking for Madison Ryan Ward the whole time and she wasn't there. We did really enjoy Josie's opening set too. That was a big push and a big win to go to that show. Josie grew up outside of Chicago and moved to Nashville to pursue music, a familiar story around here. She released her first EP titled To Be the Little Fish via Atlantic Records in June 2018, and since has featured on songs by producer DJs Matama and Two Friends. In 2021, she went indie and began releasing tracks off of her newest work, Tennis, the full-length album that released in April of this year. Josie's talked about how with every release, she feels like she's evolving her sound as an artist. So with this in mind, I thought it was really important to choose a song off of this most recent full album to show a snapshot of who Josie is as an artist now, rather than who she was, say, 4 years ago. But Tennis is full of bite-sized listening delights. Most of the songs are under 3 minutes long, and all 13 songs have different styles and appeals, so it was really difficult to choose which song to bring. Although her sound is varied and ever-evolving, catchy pop melodies and rhythms are the one constant throughout Josie's music. So to give you more of this, I chose maybe the poppiest, boppiest song off of Tennis, called Santa Cruz, for today. This song was written by Cameron Montgomery, Josie Dunne, and Michelle Buzz, and was produced by Josie Dunne and Connor Thuet. I hope you love it, pun intended. Let's go, Jessie. You got this.
Woo!
It's inevitable, we got us a couple trips around the sun, mama. We just keep it moving on the up and up, yeah, baby, like my thumbs, mama. Been close, but nothing is quite like this, yeah. Got close and then it clicked, baby, Riding in the ebb and flow, breathing even
What you think?
I liked it.
Jesse, we can't hear you. Every time.
Are we?
There we go. Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay. Well, that I would say was very funky. I was not expecting it to be that funky.
Poppy Poppy.
Yeah.
Funky disco. Like a lot of fun. Just fun.
Yeah.
Good
Puts the
time.
fun in the funk, I think. This was really cool to see you bringing an artist that had sort of like listening ties, you know, with a previous episode, because you know you went to that show for whose name escaped me.
John
Ryan.
Splitoff?
Yeah.
John Splitoff.
Yeah, and now it feels like I'm feeling a little bit more not just connected to the music from, you know, Nashville, but like also music. Not only do I feel a little bit more connected to the music of Nashville, but also, you know, I feel like I get to be a little bit more connected, kind of just like the K's piece of Listen In, because you know, just the things that you've already been you showed us before with, well, I think Madison Ryan Ward was Jesse's what Jesse brought, but like you were already familiar with the artists, you've seen them live, and you know, they're all kind of connected. It's really cool. You know, I feel more connected to you, not just because, you know, the Nashville ties, but also, you know, previous episode artists as well. It's really cool.
I will remind you, for anybody listening who didn't hear that story, that I didn't get to see Madison Ryan Ward. But my girlfriend and I had gone to a John Splitoff concert. He's really great at this tiny little venue, literally called The Basement. And it is literally a basement. There's no stage. There's just a little section of floor separated off for the artists to stand in. And then you're like 3 feet from them. So it's super chill and super fun. But we went to see John Splitoff. Kind of like, we really like him too, but also kind of secretly hoping that Madison Ryan Ward, who at the time had lived in Nashville, would secretly appear and sing a song with him. And the whole time my girlfriend was looking around for Madison Ryan Ward, and she never showed up. I think she had already moved to California at that point, which is a shame. But Josie did open for that show, and it was super, super fun as always. Even though it was just her and her guitar, she still keeps it really fun and chill. But yeah, I think one of my favorite things about her music is honestly her voice. That might not surprise anybody, but she has kind of a unique tone, unique way of using her voice that I think you hear less of in this song than some of her others. And that was part of what made this song, like, it wasn't an immediate, oh yeah, this is the song I'm going to bring. Because I was like, I really wish you got more of that color that she has, but with so much production it kind of gets buried, but it's still really fun and enjoyable, and it's definitely worth listening to the whole album to hear more of her and more of her color and more of her tone.
Yeah, I love the noises. It's my turn to be you, the bop bop noises. I particularly liked the effects of, there was something a little like faded out underwater with like the instrumentals, and just like that little bit of distortion made it a little more interesting and kind of fresher to me. Like, I know that's not a unique thing to this song, and that's kind of been happening recently with like all the lo-fi, but like lo-fi disco is not something I've heard a whole lot of. And just like adding that little twist to the noises, and like the crowd noises too. Like, sometimes that can be a little cheesy, but it was just like, yes. Perf.
Tastefully done. Jesse, do you know that the stream right now is showing the wrong song?
Oh. Nah. I was getting it ready. That was
Learning curve.
The wrong call.
Just a reminder.
I'll fix that.
Jesse's our technical mastermind, clearly, and has like a million things to juggle while also podcasting. So, popcasting.
This is making me understand why they have dedicated AV people to do this stuff, and not me.
But we appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. I think another thing I really like about this song in particular is her use of rhythm with the lyrics. We've talked about this, like I'm not a first-time lyric listener, but when I started really listening to it, I like the way that she slips a word from the next line into the line before just to keep the rhythm going. Like the rhythm of this song is really interesting. With the but also with the like nothing's quite like this part. A little Easter egg if you weren't paying close attention to the lyrics.
Yeah, I didn't really catch that because I have difficulties catching on to like little lyrical Easter eggs that are happening on first listen. But that does have me excited to check it out because I do like when artists like use words as a way to kind of just like get like propel like momentum, and create like engagement in terms of like interest of like what's happening rather than here's a verse, here's a chorus. There's kind of like this interplay with the words and the music.
And using the words to now I don't have words. Good job. No, using the words to set the rhythm in a way. So rather than forcing a word into a certain rhythm with a certain emphasis, I think she does a really good job of using them in sort of a natural way as if they were just being spoken or written down.
Yeah.
We talked about, I think I mentioned this before. I don't know if it made it onto the episode, but I think it was the Casey Kalmanson Little Monarch. I think she does a really good job of that too. And at that point, I think I mentioned Julia Michaels as another example of somebody who really just feels like sometimes when they're singing, it just feels like they're reading like their diary to you or reading something they had written down with the rhythm that they use and just the sort of natural delivery.
Makes it feel authentic and heartfelt, even though it's a super bop. Yeah.
Alexis looks like he doesn't believe me.
I believe you. It's just my mic. I mean, not my mic. My camera is just it's going crazy today. I'm restarting
you were
it. I'm
hardcore side-eyeing.
Yeah.
We're like
it froze when I was side-eyeing, and it made it look worse than what it really was.
Yeah. So you're saying it was already bad?
No, it was like I was side-eyeing my camera, so it made it look like I was side-eyeing you.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. There's a lot of like interesting production stuff happening in this song, and like you would miss it if like you're not paying attention, like me, because I missed a lot of it, and I'm just like thinking back, it's like, yeah, there was actually a lot going on here despite how short it was. And I think one thing that did stand out to me was kind of like the things that were happening production wise in the bridge. It felt like this sort of like almost EDM style sort of bridge. Nothing like in terms of like building up for like an EDM drop, but like in terms of like how it breaks the energy, and then kind of like builds you up to expect what's gonna come next with the last chorus. I thought it felt more of like an EDM sort of thing in practice, less of a like conscientious decision to like make an EDM sort of style song, because it's not an EDM song, obviously. But yeah, I think the bridge, the way it kind of like handled that for like a really poppy boppy song, having like this sort of like EDM sort of thing going on, was really cool.
I definitely hear that. It's a little bit dance pop in there.
Yeah,
you mentioned it's short, coming in at exactly 3 minutes long. This song is the third longest song on that album.
Wow.
Out of 13.
Wow.
So the longest being 3 minutes and 26 seconds. But it was difficult because it felt like the album takes you on much more of a journey than any of the individual songs do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And all of the individual songs are great as like a little bite-sized snippet of Josie's sound.
Yeah. That's cool. It makes me, just want to like dive into it because I kind of like this sort of like peppy sort of world that you can kind of just dive into, and it's like a really brief pick me up sort of thing. You get what you get, and it's like all there like immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of them are chiller, and some of them are higher energy.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, did you have anything else you wanted to talk about in particular?
It's been hard to kind of sneak my way in.
Just interrupt us. It's fine. Go for it.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me. It seems to fit. Like, this song is very tight in terms of like structure. There's no fat on it. There's no like, oh, I heard this already, and so if the whole album is just like, we're gonna do exactly what's good, and that's it, and then we're done. No extra.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to understand what "there's no fat on it" meant. I was like, why are we being fat phobic all of a sudden? What the hell, Jesse?
I was thinking more in terms of
you
like
meant
a
like
steak.
meat that you would have to trim off. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I followed eventually, but if I looked confused, it's because I was. Yeah, I think that is the album. And although this is like full pop production, there is also a chilled out version on the album called Santa Cruz Reprise. And that's actually something I've seen her do before. Her song Same off of, I don't remember which album, but an older album, got a couple of remixes and then also a really gorgeous dialed back alternate version. And that is like, When I Want Something Pretty, one of my favorite songs from her is that same alternate version. So I think it's really cool when you see artists take one song that they know is really good, like Madison Malone, right? With the ones and twos, like take one song you know is really good and then give you a couple of different ways to hear it depending on what you're in the mood for.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, check out more Josie, please, because she's great.
Cool. Yeah. There's actually one thing that stood out to me, and I think it's probably my favorite thing, which is it's such a small thing too. I'm not sure if like either of you like caught on to it, but like I immediately caught on to it on my first listen, and it happens very early in the song, and it's like as soon as I heard it, like it made my ears perk up, and then like I was expecting it again, and it doesn't come again until like maybe near the end. There's like a little like vocal ad lib sort of thing that happens near the beginning where she goes ba 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 ba, and it made me. I was wondering, like, did that stand out to you, Kay? Because like it reminded me of like a K-pop song.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah. I understand. Yeah. It's hold on. Keep talking. I'll remember what it is.
Yeah, and I was like, it's like, why does that sound so familiar? And I was like, I swear it sounds like a K-pop song, but I hope I'm not like misremembering. And then I was thinking, I was like, I think it's an Exid song. I'm not sure if you listen to Exid, but
very little.
But yeah, there's like a vocal hook on like one of the Exid songs where it's just like ba 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 ba, but like it's more prominent in that song. So like I got accustomed to hearing it, repeated ba 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 ba. So I was expecting that to be kind of like a recurring thing here, but no, like she teases it once, like at very close at the beginning, and it seems like there's like no like real reason to, because it doesn't like interplay with anything else. It's like a little texture, a little color, and then it comes up one more time like much later in the song at a different part of the song too. So yeah, that stood out to me, and I really liked that. It was just like a little treat that I really enjoyed.
I think that didn't particularly stand out to me for me to notice, but I think one of them leads into a pre-chorus. Because I'm hearing that in my head in that way, but I don't remember where the second one is. You may be right that it's in a different spot. But yeah, that is a good point. Uas Gaius says, quote, "Exit? I see signs promoting them a lot." It's a great joke. Good job.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the pun for us.
Use case can be our official pun representative.
Yeah.
There's a pun in there somewhere. I just don't know how to make it. Pun presentative. Repunzentative. I'm gonna stop. Jesse, what'd you bring today?
I brought clicking the thing so it changes the image. All right. This is gonna take some getting used to. Okay.
You're good.
Kolohe Kai and HIRIE did a combined effort to do the song Feel the Sunshine. Kolohe Kai is a Hawaiian reggae pop and contemporary band formed in 2009 by lead singer and songwriter Roman de Peralta. From their first album, This Is the Life, they had several big hits on the local scene, including Ehu Girl and Cool Down, and have been a staple of the local music scene ever since. Their 2014 album Paradise made it to third place on the Billboard reggae charts. Featured artists HIRIE are another group from Hawaii who have found some success on the international reggae scene. In their lyrics, they sometimes tackle tough topics such as addiction, bipolar disorder, along with spirituality and the positivity often associated with reggae music. As for Kolohe Kai, they are maybe the most prominent and popular artists in Hawaii today. When I'm singing on Discord and I sometimes run into another person from Hawaii, they often suggest singing Kolohe Kai songs, which unfortunately I don't know well enough to actually sing, but certainly when I listen to them, I can appreciate they make good music that I really think captures the essence of beach life in Hawaii. So get a taste of the sun and surf with their song Here Is Feel the Sunshine by Kolohe Kai and HIRIE. Here we go.
Nice.
Every time I come back home, I always seem to fill up my fire. There's no place I'd rather go that could take me any higher. The sun is arriving, the palm trees are smiling with me. I love this island, so come on girl, let's go beach, 'cause I feel the sunshine heating the air. I feel the sunshine heating the air. I'm on a high tide, and the waves are bringing me closer. I'm from the beach side. I knew the wind wouldn't keep me away. The sun kissed, rising, bursting with sweet melodies. I love this. I'm pulling up, come right with me. 'Cause I feel the sunshine heating the air. I feel the sunshine heating the air. Do you remember how we started? Salty air and open-hearted underneath the moon, alone with you. I'll always need your love under the stars. I'm so searching for you deep in my heart. I feel the sunshine heating the air. I feel it deep in my heart. I feel the sunshine heating the air. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I feel the sunshine heating the air. I feel the sunshine heating the air. Oh yeah, everywhere. Can you feel the sunshine? Ooh. Can you feel the sunshine? Well, can you feel the sunshine?
Nice.
Be looping? I lost you. Oh no. There you are.
Hi. All right. So, are you feeling the sunshine?
I am feeling the sunshine.
Definitely feeling the sunshine. I almost turned this ring light up higher so that I could really feel the sunshine.
So fancy.
Mhm.
Ring
Ah,
light. Yeah.
bought it like 2 years ago and never used it. Here we are.
Hey.
Now I have some sunshine.
Yeah.
How about you, Alexis?
This music is making me feel like I've really been missing out on having a more pleasurable summer, because summer here sucks. It makes me want to go to Hawaii to have this music, and it makes it. I mean, I can't say because like all I'm doing is listening to the music, but it sounds like it's a wonderful place to experience, the summer vibes. So yeah, that's the main feeling I'm getting. I feel like I'm missing out. The music seems really nice, and it seems like it just evokes a wonderful place to be in as well.
Yeah, come visit. Hang out.
I should. Should.
Love to have you.
I definitely wanted to be on a beach watching people in the water do things, do water things.
All the
Whatever
water
those might
things.
be. Appropriate
Mysterious
since
water
Jessie
things.
is underwater right now.
Yes. In my pineapple. Oh.
Yeah.
How
You're
can
kind
I
of
move?
in front of your pineapple.
There we go.
Yeah.
Who lives in a
Pineapple.
pineapple under the sea? Jessie, Jessie. Oh, sorry, that was a non sequitur. No, it was really fun. I was trying to think. I was a little bit distracted because I was trying to think of what his vocals remind me of. Like there's something very particular coming into my head, and I cannot place it. Help, please.
And to me,
Listeners,
it's a
help,
very like poppy sound. Like the very forward, bright sound, which interestingly was less present in their early work. And so early songs by this group, the singer had a more dark tone or like more neutral tone, and as they progressed, he's gotten brighter and brighter, which makes it a conscious choice that they're doing, which I think is working really well. Not that his sound before was bad, but like this is definitely a more pop forward sort of approach to it. Yeah.
It sort of had the like, we are sincere about this sound. I don't know how else to describe it. That reminded me of like not early, but like peak boy band. Am I getting that right? I didn't listen to boy bands, unsurprisingly. But
It is a little boy band. I get that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. I was a Spice Girls girl myself, and
Sounds
nobody
like
should
Bruno
be surprised.
Mars to Trick Switch. Well, Bruno is also from Hawaii, so maybe there's just something in the water. I obviously sound really bright and poppy in my voice, clearly.
No, I think that's a really good comparison, the Bruno Mars, that I hadn't thought of. I have so many tabs open and I keep losing you guys. Like I just sign off and then you're gone and I cannot find you again. I'm back. I'm moving my hands away from the computer. I apologize for being distracting.
1 second.
Nope, now we've distracted Alexis. I really loved her voice too. I thought that the combination of the two was really nice because you did get that like hyper poppy, not in hyper pop the genre, but like super poppy. We got this like super poppy sound from him, and she had like a little bit more. I don't know if it's like R&B flavor. I don't genre well, but
like
yeah,
more smoky, sort of sultry sound.
Bar singer-esque, and I don't mean that like in a bar where people pay attention to the singer-esque. I mean not like bar background singer. I live in Nashville. Bar singer is like not a great thing. It's just a bunch of drunk bachelorettes. So,
yeah, I think what stood out to me was I felt like both of them felt like they really complemented each other. Like I could see like this being kind of like an official project where they make more music together, and it feels like it would work very, very well. I think her singing style matches the vibe very well, but also and also I feel the way that their voices interact with each other complement each other very well as well. The colors don't clash. So that's what surprised me. Like I kind of forgot that that there was going to be another singer on this song when we were listening. I got really fixated on his voice that when she came in, I was like, whoa. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, not only does she sound amazing, but I think like she just feels so natural in this environment. So yeah, I really think like their pairing was just really, really good.
Yeah, this song is definitely my favorite from either of them. And I think combined, it's great. I think that an interesting thing in terms of like the background of this song is that Kolohe Kai is reggae, but it's a very poppy reggae. This is the most reggae song that I've heard from them. It's hitting hard there, with like the bass and like that rhythm just and then the echo effects. I love an echo effect in a reggae song that really makes it for me. But that style is like the harder reggae is more along the lines of what Hirie does. So them combining together, I think, is really working well that way.
I'm really curious to hear more from both of them separately too, to see how they kind of settle into their own sounds and their own levels of genre, I guess, combinations of genre. Because it was cool. I liked the lyrics. The lyrics made me want to be on a beach.
Fun thing about the lyrics is when the singer from Hirie gets her part, she says, "I'm from the beach side," and in the music video, she points to a tattoo on her forearm that says Kaneohe, and sister, I live Kaneohe. There's no beach there. There's a bay with like rocks and it's a little swampy. But to go to the beach, you have to go to the next town over to Kailua or like drive half an hour to the North Shore. It's still technically on the same side of the island, but that's not the town that has the beaches.
So here's what's interesting: the lyrics page on Genius, and this, I mean, it's Genius, right? So it's likely wrong. It says, "I'm from the beast side." I don't know what that means.
I mean, she probably went to Castle High School. Not wrong.
I don't know what that means either, but it sounds like an insult.
You guys, did you go to Castle? It might take a few seconds for.
USGA said that, and I don't know when this was. We need timestamps on the chat. Goodness, says that we should go down to Hawaii and do a live listen-in show on a beach. Which the sound quality sounds rough, but we could just hang
all
out
the
on a
noise
beach.
canceling. Times 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
USGA is answering your question there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm gonna have to start saying "use guys" because USGA is really difficult.
Yeah.
Saying the actual name is easier than messing up for fun.
and being a pain in the ass. Can I say that on live? Do we get dinged for cursing?
Nah, we'll be fine.
Good. That's good. Don't sue us, please.
Yeah, I think
she said ass. Oh no.
Oh, beans.
Yeah, I think my final point here for the song, I think the part that I really liked the most was the bridge. The bridge had just really beautiful chords. It's a really pretty bridge, and I like also how the bridge leads up to I'm not sure what the technical term for it is, but I guess it's called a dropout chorus, where it's the chorus, but like, there's no instrumentation or very little instrumentation. So it leads up to a dropout chorus, and then when the chorus repeats one more time and the band comes back in, on also a very beautiful chord. So it's just it felt really good, that bridge having a really beautiful chord progression, and then giving us the instrumentation back on that final chorus was just a really nice 1-2. I don't want to say punch because maybe that's a little too violent, but yeah, it was really nice.
You might say a Hawaiian punch.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a good one.
There you go.
It'd be great if you like had a bottle of it. You just hold up in that moment. Not sponsored.
Yeah.
I don't like the taste of it, really.
No, this tastes like sugar and chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I think I was too in the vibe to really have very good analytical skills listening to this. Like it's just vibey, but I really liked it. Yeah. I feel the sunshine, heat in the air. Is that supposed to be I feel the sunshine period, heat in the air, or is sunshine heat a thing?
Huh. I didn't think about that. Because Genius can't quite trust lyric either.
She's from the beast side, y'all. Yeah. She actually, I looked up, was born in the Philippines and grew up in Italy. So maybe she is from the beach side and just now resides.
But she got that tattoo.
She got that tattoo?
Yeah. All right, Alexis. Oh, sorry.
It's my turn.
Before we move on, if you're gonna check out more Kolohe Kai, I really, really, really enjoy their covers. They did one of that Dan and Shay song. Speechless, which is really, really good, just with reggae instrumentation. Well, Hawaiian reggae instrumentation, which I have to explain a little bit and should have done earlier. So contemporary Hawaiian music is like mostly reggae based, but they also include ukulele and other like more traditional instruments sometimes. So, but yeah, check out those covers; they're really fun. Alexis,
me, good pointing. Thank you. You got it. I feel like I missed the memo on here because I was under the impression that the hometown that I was supposed to be looking for was childhood hometowns, not current hometowns.
An explanation, if I may.
Yeah.
Because we talked about both ways.
Right.
The only artist I know from my childhood hometown is my sister. And she has a new album coming out in March. So I couldn't bring her now. That would be wrong.
Okay.
I have to wait for the new album. And also Jesse's current hometown is his childhood hometown, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
continue. You were under no incorrect impression.
Okay. So I have decided to go with my childhood hometown rather than my current hometown. So finding an artist for today has been quite an interesting endeavor because my childhood hometown is a very small town called Lakehurst, New Jersey. And, I grew up in a part of the state where, it's just not very active when it comes to like arts and the music scene. So I was like, what do I do here? So I decided to kind of just like broaden my range to kind of like more of like the neighboring like townships, because when you live in Lakehurst, you kind of have to like explore a little bit to get to the music and the arts community, and in a way you kind of like adopt it sort of. So that's kind of like where I went here. So yeah, my recent journey to dive deeper into the nearby music from where I call home has brought me to the artist that I'm really excited to share. Her name is Foxanne, and this is a project piloted by one Chelsea Goad, who is a South Brunswick native and Space.com senior writer, and has been writing music for this project as early as 2014, from what I could find. but has expressed in an interview that music and poetry has been something that she's been doing in some shape or form basically all her life. And later in her life formed Foxanne as a way to really find her sound sonically and as a songwriter. As of right now, Foxanne is a solo project that orbits around a more indie pop sort of sound, but the first half of its lifespan, it was more of a band, with Chelsea fronting the band, with guitar in hand doing the whole rock band thing. And I must say, they definitely had a really strong stage presence in that sort of arrangement. Foxanne is an avid lover of science and space, and she has graduated with a science major, and was at the time a science educator, and writes articles and columns for astronomy publications. And her love of space is also evident in her music videos and album art, often including celestial bodies, stars, planetariums, and NASA sites. And if that wasn't enough, the song we'll listen to today was taken to space recently as a part of a personal playlist of one of the crew members aboard the SpaceX Inspiration 4 space shuttle mission. Words. And so even Foxanne's music has even been played out in space. So if anyone ever asks her what her music is like, she can say it's out of this world in a way not many other musicians can say. And that brings us to the present day, where Foxanne as a band is over. But what has remained consistent between these two states of the project is Foxanne's singing style, which is a full force on the song that we'll listen to today, called I Could Go On. And I could go on about Foxanne's voice, pardon the pun. It left me starstruck the moment that I first heard it, and I am sure it will leave an impression on you. So let's listen. Enjoy.
Everything is us. The star just fades away and condenses into hot and swirling passion. Whip it up and do it all again. Fall apart with me. It's okay, life repeats, repeats, repeats. I could come believing, I could come believing in it. Oh, 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 oh. I could come believing, go on, baby, go. All that I have is all I feel. Pinprick of a thumb, the shaking of my lungs. It's all that's real. So fall apart with me. It's okay, life repeats, repeats, repeats. I could come believing, I could come believing in it. Oh, 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 I could come believing. Go on, baby, Life is all that we make it. Let it shake out of your skin and taste it. Life is all you make it. Let it shake out of your skin and taste it. I could come believing, I could come believing it. Oh, 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 I could come believing, go
Seems like that song could go on. It wanted to right there for a moment.
To be fair, on Spotify it said it had like 15 more seconds, and then it didn't.
One day you'll remember to turn off the repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Foxanne. What do we think? What are we feeling?
I love her name.
Yes.
First and foremost.
Cool.
It's a great name. It's super clever.
Uh-huh.
And I hear the rock for sure.
Mhm.
Like I completely hear how she could have just been pulled right out of a rock band.
Yeah, like almost like a meteor sort of like rock, right?
Yes, exactly. She was just pulled out of a meteor.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And this was my introduction to her. This kind of like context. It was this song and her most recent song that came out earlier in this year in January, and both of those songs have a very similar instrumentation, I would say. So this is kind of like my first like impression of her, and I was already like, oh yeah, I'm loving this. This is great. I like this. But I will say, after having gone back to like her earlier stuff, which was more of a rock band sort of thing, it does make me it makes me interpret like her vocal delivery different on this song now, because it sounds like they're two different worlds in a way. We have like this really dreamy like indie pop sort of thing going on, and then these rock vocals, and I feel like the rockness of her vocals really stand out even more after I got exposed to her like rock music from earlier.
Yeah, it's very 80s pop rock. And like it's a little grungier, a little grittier, but I was definitely feeling some like Cyndi Lauper going on. Like that sort of smoky but still poppy sound, especially at like the upper end of her range.
Yeah.
Which she spent a lot of time in. Like,
yeah.
Not quite screaming, but like that sounded difficult.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably wasn't actually difficult, but I love all of the squeaks that she uses, and I feel like that squeak is what's making it feel like it's just like it feels emotionally difficult. To me, like it feels like she's just putting her all into her vocals, and it was nice to listen to for sure. And it made me want to hear her in a lot of hear her vocals in that style in a lot of different contexts.
Yeah, I think I actually experienced something very similar to you, Kay, with how you were with your choice of bringing Josie and what song you wanted to bring. I felt that similar experience with Foxanne, in that I felt like it was really difficult for me to like really pick a song that I felt allowed you to see, if not all, but most of like what she can do with her voice. I feel like we get a couple of like her standout stuff that is very unique to like her approach to delivering an emotion and lyrics on this song. And I think that's what gravitated me the most to this song. But like in the back of my mind, I was like, I wish like, there could be a little bit more, because I do feel like this song stays in like one lane for the most part, which is not bad. But I was experiencing that same, feeling that you were feeling with the song that you brought with Josie, and that I was really hoping that I could also find something that would show, more sides, because there's definitely more to what she does.
Yeah, sometimes I wish we could just like listen to a whole album together, but that would be time prohibitive for sure. We'd be here for 4 hours every week.
Yeah.
Talk about every song afterward. I'd love it, but
we can break it into a series.
We've got other stuff to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will definitely be going back and listening to things that she's released to get that broader sense of who she is as an artist, because this really piques some curiosity, even if it doesn't show the whole breadth of what she's capable
Right.
of.
Right.
I was giving Jesse a second because he said it was hard to break in last time, but now he's just silent.
I'm reading chat.
Oh, okay.
So you guys says, so is her name Roxanne and she's Foxy? So Foxanne? Or is her name Anne and she's Foxy?
I think what's really funny is that the chat seems to have censored out the word foxy for me.
Oh,
Like it's an inappropriate word.
Inappropriate.
So I had no idea what he was trying to say.
I can see it.
That's weird. Maybe it's my settings.
Yeah, maybe.
Alexis, can you see the chat?
No, I can't.
Her name is not Roxanne or Anne, right?
Yeah, it's not. It's Chelsea. So it's neither of those. And actually, she did an interview where she does explain the origins of her name, and it's actually really cute and really interesting. I don't remember it because I felt like it wasn't, going to be that big of a discussion point here. But it was just paraphrasing, abridging it. Basically, like it was kind of like a cute little nickname that a relative gave her when she was really young, and it stuck with her. And she's like, I want to make that as my music project. So, but there is like a meaning behind like Foxanne. There is like some sort of like play of words going on, but I don't really remember. But yeah, that's it. It does have like a sentimental, personal value to her.
That's cute.
Yeah.
I liked the contrast in this song of that like squeaky rock vocal we were talking about before with what I associate, again, not a genre person or expert, but what I associate with sort of like Americana. The like slide,
Yeah.
the slide, I don't know if it's a slide guitar, like what do you call them? They sit in your lap, something steel.
Steel
You know
guitar?
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No,
No,
it has a different name.
yeah,
Lap steel?
Lap steel, I think
steel
so.
lap,
Something
lap
like that.
steel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody will figure it out and tell us that I'm wrong and give us the right name.
The-
But I heard a lot of that. Like I heard a lot of that instrumentation I associate with more Americana, and then to add on these what
the
rock vocals.
Hawaiian sounding guitar is, if that's what you're thinking of, is a slide guitar. Yeah, but this is
Hawaiian sounding? Was it Hawaiian sounding?
the slide.
I associate
Yeah.
it with like country western type sounds, but it could be the same sound we're talking about with just different context.
Steel guitar, maybe.
Yeah, something like
anyways.
that. Anyway, not important.
Not important.
We weren't there. Alexis, are you making faces at us or at your camera?
At my camera.
Okay.
Why not both?
You seemed very upset with the conversation.
Yeah. My camera is just not happy today. But yeah, like that yeah, what's going on with the sounds is really, really cool actually. And I didn't really, pick up on it on the first listen. I kind of was just like really locked into just the general chord progression, but also like her captivating voice. So those were like the two things that stood out to me the most when I was listening to. And then as I listened to it more, like, that kind of like Americana arrangement and instrumentation like was becoming more apparent to me. And I was like, whoa, that's actually a really surprising mix here. And it's kind of cool because like, when I feel Americana, I feel grounded. And then like when I listen to her music, which is also very spacey and just celestial, it's like this really cool mix. It's really nice. And then, she's singing and she's belting, kind of like Orion. So it's like, it's amazing.
I'm sorry, I need a minute. That was an awful pun.
I loved it.
That was Remember when Alexis hated puns?
Yeah.
We have converted him to the dark
changed.
side.
I've changed.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
It's only taken a few, like half a year.
Yeah. But yeah, I think like my favorite part of the song is like a part that like just keeps grabbing me. There's a gravitational pull, I would say, every time I hear it. It's just the chord progression in the chorus. How it's very simple, but like how it uses that minor 4 chord at the very end, before it repeats back to the one chord. It's just, it was not expected in this context, because like that whole sound, it sounds very like nostalgic, very sentimental, changing the 4 to the minor 4, and the way it works here is just, there's like a bitterness for some reason. There's like this bitter like flavor that it adds to this chorus, and I think maybe it makes sense because like what the chorus is singing about, it's this really passionate wail going on. I think it definitely helps color that that chorus lyric. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to hear that chord in this song, and because like it totally like stood out to me the very moment I heard it, I was like, that's the minor 4. I can hear it, and it just stood out, and it's like my favorite part of the song.
I think I was so taken with her vocals that it didn't even occur
Mhm.
to me, especially in that chorus where
Yeah.
they're like so big and present. It
Mhm.
didn't even occur to me to listen to the chord
Yeah,
progressions.
yeah.
I'll definitely hear that going back through
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think like it's impossible for me to not hear the minor 4. Like Twice does it a lot. Twice uses the minor 4 in their songs. Like What Is Love, I think, is like the most easiest example of that. Like it's just burned in my ear at this point. Like I hear the minor 4, I'm like, that's Twice. I hear it.
They own
Almost
it now.
as though you're counting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say this was also a really Alexis song. Like both of you
Whoa.
brought you songs,
Mhm.
but like from the first 3-4 seconds, I was like, "Yep, that's sounds about right." And then it built and built and built, and it's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is Alexis would love this song," and
Yeah.
he does because he
Yeah.
brought it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point, because like for Kay's song Josie, like it reminded me of like what Kay has brought in the past. It reminded me a bit of like Sanjana. So yeah, like we definitely, I think, really captured stuff that we typically bring here. Like no surprises.
I'm a pretty predictable music listener, truly, and
Mhm.
I make no effort to hide that.
And then there's me.
Yeah.
And then there, you have your things.
I
You have
do.
your bits and pieces.
Not
yeah.
today though.
Not,
Mhm.
it fits in. It could work.
Yeah.
I'll put it on your playlist.
There's a funky bass guitar, so that's something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There are like not huge production instruments. Often that's a Jessie thing. It's a thing I associate with you. Anyway, this is off topic from the song.
Sorry.
I'm not reading you as Gaius' comment out loud. But that's
Okay.
what I'm laughing at.
I can't see it, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh, okay. We'll just leave you in the dark.
If
Okay.
you're watching this in a recording, you'll just have to show up to the stream so you can see inappropriate comments in the chat.
It
Oh.
wasn't wildly
Not
inappropriate.
not horribly. No.
It wasn't like the last song that we listened to at our first test stream.
Yeah.
You know? It's not that inappropriate.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to cut anybody off, but anything else to say about this?
I think I've said what I could say.
Same. Yeah. That's most of my stuff. It's good.
I feel like I'm gonna listen to it again and be like, man, I wish I would have talked about those 80 things that I
It's
was
possible.
too distracted with trying to do a live stream for the first time
Mhm.
to hear.
Yeah.
But we're doing it though.
We are.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna have to dig more in to get both of the artists, I guess all of the artists, there were 3 in total, that y'all brought seem
Or
like there's a lot more digging to be done
I
to
had
get
2.
a sense. That's how I ended up with 3, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know all of Josie's music, so
Yeah.
I don't need to dig into that,
Right.
but you do.
We do.
But now I feel like we've unearthed something that we need to keep digging.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm acting out digging. That looks like you're gonna break your wrists.
Hypermobile.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, Foxanne, great stuff. I would say, checking out her stuff is a bit of an exploration because it's not readily available on a lot of places. A lot of it is mostly like on Bandcamp, so you kind of have to go out of your way if it's not part of like your whole music ecosystem. But I think it's well worth it. It's usually all in one place, and she has quite a bit to go through. That's all like very varying. And if I was to recommend anything to follow up with for Foxanne, I would say check out her Tiny Desk submissions. She submitted some Tiny Desk performances during the whole Panini that happened recently, and just a absolutely captivating performance on that. Very, very much like that would be if Jesse listened to it, he would have been like, that is so much an Alexis song. So yeah, check that out. It's extremely gorgeous. But she has another one as well. She has 2 Tiny Desk submissions, one that's a couple years ago as well, which is also really good, more upbeat and more rock sounding. But yeah, she's also currently right now writing new material. So if you like what we heard today, follow her and look out for new music because she's in the middle of writing.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, we did it. Our first episode is a wrap. Guys, we're professionals. How does it feel?
It's definitely how that works.
That's the biggest joke of the day.
I enjoyed it.
We
This was
did it.
fun.
We made it. Yeah. Alexis, you want to plug our socials?
Yeah. If you would like to keep up with us, give us a follow on Twitch or the platform that you are tuning in from. And the links to our socials can be found in the episode description. I believe that's how it works. And if you would like to stay up to date with the artists that we talked about today, you can find their socials there as well. Show them some love. It all really goes a long way.
Also,
we are also go Jesse.
So on Twitch, if you go to the About page, it'll have links to all our socials. And we just opened up our Discord for other people to join in. And so you can share music, talk about that music with us. We'll talk about our music with you and just like have a nice little positive music community. Yeah.
Yeah. One filled with a lot of puns.
It's true.
And look forward to that.
That is true. And also on all of our socials, we are now listening Popcast, not Music Pod like we were in the past. Hopefully that'll make us easier to find. And that's consistent across all platforms. We're on Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, and soon to have a TikTok. It's set up. We just don't really have any posts yet. So follow us there for whatever shenanigans happen that, I don't know, Alexis or I probably do on TikTok.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's wave to the people in the future who are watching the archive.
And also
Goodbye,
the people who are here. Goodbye.
Goodbye, people
Thank
from
you.
the now.
All right.